Namhlanje ke baphulaphuli decided not to come on my own, but I have a guest in the studio esizothetha naye very shortly. I just want to remind abaphulaphuli that le program uyakwazi ukuthi usithinde pha emoyeni just to participate in the conversation. Pha number 0733 606 305 and the WhatsApp number 081 77 22234. We are busy engaging on topics that are taking us to the 2021 local government elections. We are dealing with these issues, I think, about and I think when we started the program, we mentioned a couple of things, including indima yokuthi abantu bokuhlala bathanda ukuthi xa bengakhange bazive kamnandi ngemiba yokuhlala ba resorted to violent public protests where they begin to destroy property that they will later need, and we want to help abaphulaphuli ukuthi bathi engage in a moral active citizenry in terms of engaging in topics and dialogue ukuthi senza kanjani. So this program is a program that is geared towards that dialogue, where abaphulaphuli are encouraged to participate in these dialogues ezenza ukuthi sihambe ngendlela ezawukwakha isizwe sethu baphulaphuli bezwilethemba. Kunqaphambili ngaloko isitishi sakho sithandayo, isitishi sakho sinomahluko ukuphila kwezizwe, IzwiLethemba FM. Mphulaphuli ke ungalibali ukuthi ungene pha kuthi 0733 606 305 and the WhatsApp number 081 772234. Baphulaphuli njengoba benjilo ke angihlelanga ndodwa ndihamba noQhamani Tshazi from Afesis-corplan ozazasisa shortly ukuthi ungubani and then what he does there and what Afesis is all about. Qhamani molo dad. Egeman. I thought I would take this course. I have to confess that I was shocked, but I'm glad because I want to go to abaphulaphuli feel free when they engage with us emoyeni. But otherwise, tell us who you are and where you come from.
Okay, uQhamani uzalelwe eNgqamakwe apha ePhondweni eMakoloni.
Yes.
And I serve Afesis-corplan as a programs officer for sustainable settlements. So umsebenzi esiwenzayo is focused on informal settlement upgrading, which is basically pushing for the promotion of the basic services,
yes,
and resources to uluntu ekuhlaleni, especially the informal settlements. I think as we know, informal settlements are the most deprived, resource deprived areas and most of the time the conditions they live under are not fit for humans.
Yes.
So what we push for is at least for there to be decent living conditions for abantu. So we push for water, we push for sanitation, electricity, basic services, and also for people to get tenure. Because I think as people, once ubenento that you can claim as your own, so if you have a site you can claim as your own, you are willing to work towards that and eventually building yourself a house maybe one day. So that's what we're pushing for. We're pushing for decent living conditions for abantu, particularly informal settlements.
Let's talk about informal settlements. But isimo sabantu who've lived in these areas for 20, 30 years. Indlela bayibona ngayo development, because it's like they are outside of that of that scope of what local government focuses on. So they feel neglected, they feel rejected, they feel frustrated because they cannot participate and they don't see or seem to benefit in those things, including about infrastructure where but I want to know the condition of the mind or the state of mind of abantu who've lived in these informal settlements for a long time. What goes through their minds? What kind of people are you talking about?
I think in my experience that most of the people still in informal settlements, the community as a whole and even as a country, they've been painted by the wrong brush. A lot of people assume that abantu abasela informal settlements are lazy people. We make these assumptions that abantu who are reliant on government to give them things, etc. But from my experience and what I've seen is that people in informal settlements, number one, are the most innovative people you can ever find.
Yes.
They are the most creative people, and they are able to make do with the little that they have. You go to informal settlements and you see the structures the people have built for themselves, structures of good quality. You see the roads that they've created for themselves. You see how they are able to use the little taps echoing in the community, but it's serving such a great deal of people.
Yeah.
And they are able to look after the little resources that they've been given because they understand it's kuphela kwazo, they don't have anything else. So I think most of them have, I wouldn't like to use the word given up on our government, but it would seem that way because it's as if they are a forgotten group of people when it comes to inkonzo zakuluntu. And you find that most of the time they are only thought of when it comes to elections, like taxes of elections. That's when people start to realize, oh, there's people in informal settlements. Let's go and promise them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you find, put it down the line, there's nothing that's been delivered. We have abandoned, like you've just said, who've been staying in informal settlements for many generations. They even raised their own families. Already. And in that space and time, they've been waiting. You know, it's very difficult for you to do anything for yourself because at the back of your head,
yeah, sure. Very interesting. I think you're coming to the topic, I think, for today. But probably, you know, as we want to talk about Duncan Village. I said, you know, when I started this, looking at it, I said, finally, the deferred dream is about to become a reality. And for most of these people, it's been a long time coming. And the promises, I mean, they've been there for a long time. And this particular one, I refer to President Cyril Ramaphosa, that he came down after, you know, he was elected and went door to door at Duncan Village. And recently, I think about 2 weeks or 3 weeks back, he echoed that same sentiment that we are actually going to embark about to start this project. And what do you think about it? Will these dreams be truly realized? What do we foresee?
Well, I think I'm not in a position to say if they will be realized or not, but I think what I can say is I think most people echo the sentiments who are in the informal settlement upgrading sector. That is, it's just a drop in the ocean to promise residents at Duncan Village that you're going to build them houses, you're going to relocate them elsewhere while you build their houses in the interim. Because that's just dealing with one community, which is the Duncan Village. I mean, a study that was conducted by BCM revealed that there are over 150 informal settlements in the entire Buffalo City metro region. And I was reading now, phase 1 of this project is the Duncan Village, which is going to cost 220 million. Will be focusing on 5,500 households. And I was thinking to myself, if you're going to build houses for 5,500 households with 220 million, don't they think that more could have been done with that money if it was spread across different communities to bring these basic services? Number one, give people security of tenure where they are. Secondly, you give them water, you give them toilets, you give them decent living conditions. Now, if you give people tenure, over time you are able to offer different support to different groups of people. There are some people who, once they get a piece of land, they are able to say the little that they have and build a structure for themselves, a structure that they will be proud of. As opposed to building houses for 5,000, promising to build houses for 5,500 people, and eventually with a chance that may not even happen. Because we've seen it ends up Buffalo City Metro, according to their BEP, which is their Built Environmental Performance Plan, they're building around 1,233 houses per year. So that means to build for the first phase of 5,500, it's going to take them close to 6 years just for the space phase. And there's no guarantee about what's going to happen in that time. One, the number of households may increase in that space and time. The number of informal settlements in the region as well will increase. So I really think this proposal by the president is really just applying a bandage to the wound and not dealing with what caused the wound in the first place. And it's just a drop in the ocean. It will do a lot of difference for the people of Duncan Village, yes, but it doesn't do much to change the status quo of the people who live in informal settlements.
Wow. Usho-ke bophulaphuli phaya indwendwe lethu awunkosiyami uQhamani. Now as he mentioned that these 5,500 homes that are going to be built on 220 million funding, that by that time that he announced it was pending approval from Treasury. And there's a lot of gaps, I think, even within uMasipala in ensuring that they meet those targets, they have capacity. What can we look into in terms of what can make this project fail? Because it's always good to be optimistic, but sometimes you need to look at things realistically so that people, when they are engaged, you know, they understand that when they look at uMasipala who will be rolling out this project, zeziphi izinto mhlambe sinothi sizijonge and then begin to speak to that can result in failure. As I've mentioned, I'll mention another one. Umaswala has a tendency of not paying contractors on time, and that causes problems when it comes to these projects. And if you are saying that it's over 1,000 houses that are built a year based on statistics in what they've been able to achieve, then maybe somebody is not anticipating that I will be in a temporary shelter for 6 years or more. Now, what can we talk about in the possibilities of something going wrong?
Okay, I think your qala is that, I mean, I for one would just look at implementing agent now. I mean, if it's a program that's been proclaimed by the president, which means it's a national project. I think even the HTA is involved. But one would expect why Buffalo City Metro will play a huge part into this. And I mean, we've seen from history that sometimes the Metro's ability to follow up on their own plans is a bit of a tricky subject. Because Buffalo City Metro approved the plans in 2015. The council for upgrading of 32 informal settlements across the metro. That was for basic services across the metro. But till this day, nothing has happened in those informal settlements, and that was more than 4 years ago. Something that was approved and budgeted for. It still hasn't happened till this day. So it makes you start to wonder about, with all the stages, yes, we've got a consultant to come and do the plans for you. IzwiLethemba is agreed. They go ahead to council, they get approved by council. But then Pakfia has implemented those very same plans as implemented. So now one starts to think, what's going to be different about this particular project? In that now are we going to see the similar trend of izinto zithenjiswe ebantwini, izinto zenzeke ebantwini, and I mean plans zenziwe, but once the plans are done, it's not implemented. Because you see it with communities from those 32 of the time, whereby they've been sold this dream before. Zafika consultants school, they were a part of drawing up these plans for their own development, and excitement was high. But then you go 4 years down the line and you see, but nothing has happened. So already immorality about is already decreased. But also on that, on what could make the project potentially fail. I mean, we live in a tricky country by South Africa, and I mean even in the Eastern Cape, in that there's a lot of factors that influence the development, apart from just the money and the consultant and whatever. It's even the people themselves, but in that who stands to benefit from a project of this nature, and what about the families that are who are supposed to benefit from this 5,500 homes? And also, are we looking into just building a house for Umdu, or are we looking into creating a sustainable settlement for Abantu? A sustainable settlement whereby Umdu is able to maintain their social relations. They are able to take umntanabo esikolweni ngolapha kufitshane. They are able baba kufumana imisebenzi ngolapha kufitshane. Is it looking into ezinjalo? Because I mean, we see situations abantu bakhele izindlu ngapha kude le from where they could get work, and abantu bayashiya izindlu zabo, umuntu ashiye pha phinde yorent igama endawo behlala kuyo, because it's closer to your relations and it's closer to your employment, it's closer to your public network. So zininzi izinto, but I like to be an optimistic person, and I mean, I think I have so much faith for Elizabeth and for Abantu, because at Berlin we need this development to happen. In the end of the day, impilo zabantu funeka improve where they are.
Of course.
To a better state. So I think that's one thing that keeps me to say, at least mhlawumbi, even in the people who are supposed to implement these projects, they will have that at the back of their mind. But we are public servants, and ours is to create a difference in the communities that we work in.
Wow. Thanks, Qhamani. I think just to continue, you mentioned the engagement, I mean how people will engage, and it brings me to what kind of public participation was done in what stages, and the questions that people have they been answered? Is those key things that have been identified out of that, have they been resolved? And now coming to the second part of what I wanted to talk about, 20,000 people being moved into temporary shelters. What do you expect in such a
I think the first thing to clear up is that I think the press statement that was sent out might be a bit confusing and misleading to some extent. Because it talks, well, I think, or maybe the media's perception, Utetwa about Uba Itanken village has more than 20,000 households. And there's no mention about all those people are going to be relocated. Not all. I don't think it's going to be everyone. Well, at least according to the press statement, that's how many are going to be relocated. But when you delve deeper, you start to see, okay, after phase 1 is 5,500. So that it gives a better indication as to, okay, from the 20,000 and something that is in Duncan Village, not everyone is going to be moved. Phase 1 is going to be 5,500. We're not sure how many phases it's going to have, number one. We're not sure how many people are going to benefit, because I mean, the process, okay, is this person on the list?
Yes.
Do they qualify
as
to
a
be
beneficiary?
So there's a lot of things that are to be considered. But let's say hypothetically, abantu baya move to a temporal relocation area. I mean, we've seen these things play themselves out throughout different parts of the country, whereby a temporal relocation area becomes permanent because of there's the process wakhiwa kwezindlu ayigqitywa on time, or somehow kuphele imali engekagqitywa, abanye abantu bekakhelwa izindlu, ezinye izindlu zishiywe kwi-foundations kanjalo. So i-temporal relocation area becomes permanent, and abantu bahlale phaa bayenze permanent. And then secondly, in the few that I've seen, I mean, the living conditions, because temporal relocation areas, they are terrible. They are bad. The structures, because I mean, the meaning of the word temporal is so in there's hope, okay, within the next 3 to 4 months, so it's a structure. That's how they are constructed. But and as it's in our government's vocab that temporal and permanent, there's not much of a difference. Because I mean, you see temporal structures standing there for years. Temporal is a temporal so it creates another range of questions to say, okay, what are the time frames that they are looking into? Okay, abantu so mover, this first batch of people, like Lofis one Teta and I was mentioned. So mover, the first batch of people, Phase 1, settling down. For how long? How long do we plan to keep them there? How do we keep our contractors to account as well and to stick to time frames? And also, like you mentioned earlier, issue of not payment on time for your contractors. I mean, if you don't pay your contractors on time, then they won't deliver on time. And you also hope in the back of your mind, okay, the contractor is going to get the contract. There's someone who's going to want to do the work willingly. I'm going to, who's just going to do a shorty job, move on, team is not good to these things are the PCM. In many areas whereby contractors share team for reasons that are known to them. But I mean, if it's temporal, we need to ask those kind of questions. How long exactly? How temporal is our temporal going to be?
All right, Qhamani. I just want to ask you an interesting question. I'm knowing Afesis-corplan, in terms of the work that you do, you are an officer for sustainable human settlements. Now, what would be the ideal scenario of our government embarking on this project? How do you begin to really deal? You spoke about tenure, you spoke about many things. How do we begin to address the real issue? What is the real issue and how do we address it? Because in terms of the Constitution, I mean it makes it clear that adequate housing for all the people of the land. And those things begin to speak to what is the approach that should be taken by government in addressing the issue of sustainable settlements.
I think it's a lot of things to consider when you think of what constitutes a sustainable settlement. This is Chile Kalimba, close to indawo yempangelo, abantwana babe close to isikolo njalo njalo, the services be right. And I mean, there's this thing that was released by our government in 2009, the National Housing Code. A very, very beautiful policy document if one engages it. I mean, policy intends, for example, for upgrading of informal settlements, it's tenure security, it's health and security of abantu, and also to empower communities to be able to do things for themselves. I mean, it just requires our government officials to just be able to implement the policy in front of them. We have the National Upgrading Support Program that is supporting the upgrading of informal settlements, whereby it's saying we are now at a time whereby we've realized that our government will not be able to build houses for everyone. I think in reality, definitely, not accepting about, but not all and I think that's number one. Not all and that is okay to make that realization. However, everyone deserves to stay in a decent, healthy living environment. I mean, it's even in the Constitution that you deserve to stay in a healthy living environment. So, I think what our government should be doing rather is to invest more time and money into giving people basic services and tech. Obviously, now you have different groups of people within any given population. In any case, there are those who can be able to afford, there are those who cannot be able to afford. if we're saying we give everyone basic services, that is a basic site, that is your water, that is services, and then you say at each stage now you're going to give people different levels of support. When Afesis-corplan did, there's a video I call over YouTube that I think people should check. Afesis-corplan that speaks of the different phases of being informal settlement upgrading. Whereby stage 1 you unika wonke umuntu site. Stage 2 you give it, stage 1 also stage 1 you give them the basic services. And then in the various stages now, depending on the person's income, depending on the person's need, then you offer them different kinds of support. Now support could mean many things. Support to omnye umuntu ophangelayo could just mean you give them a site and you're going to equip them with the skills bakwazi uzakhela indlu. That's support. Support to omnye umuntu would say, well, if you could support me ngezidena ezimbalwa nongeze kwezi zinazo ndikwazi uzakhela yam indlu. That's support. Support to someone else could be literally saying, well, wena mna ndinayo imali yoba ndizakhele indlu yam ezidena nentoni, but I don't have imali yoba ndibhatale umakhi. Lo mntu mnike support yoba umakhele umakhi. I think we need to start being creative. Our government must start being creative and not apply a blanket approach to say sitreat umuntu wonke the same. Because I got sustainable. I mean, we've been through a lot of ministers, the human settlements, who are saying the same thing. There was a plan to eradicate all informal settlements by 2014, where in 2019 we have more informal settlements.
And even 2030, we'll go past 2030.
We'll still have these informal settlements because we want to use the very same tried and tested method. That seems to not be working. It's not working for our government, it's not working for our people. So why continue using the model of promising kwakhela abantu izindlu and then ubakhele abantu izindlu and then what because I was changing living conditions. Whereas if you use the word support, then you're able to tailor make it to the person exactly. And then I believe in that way our government could now save a lot of money because our Kelly you are giving them different kinds of support. And there's also another beautiful policy as well by our government, the enhanced people's housing process, which EPHP, which I think any policy has decided by, it says abantu must be involved with good development of a settlement, whereby you forming those different co-ops, the community, we co-op as then, we co-op a massive. Now, what these people you are doing you are equipping these skills. So after sebakhele onto bayakhile community, akuyakwazi uhamba uyofuna umsebenzi phi kwenye indawo. Ngeza skills equip as well.
I think you're coming to where I was going, because we've got in Buffalo City, I think it's about 31% unemployment rate, and we've got these people. You know, the sad thing about this kind of planning is that it takes people to far away from work, as you said, and remember, most of these people are not even working, and when they're placed there, they are in a more desperate situation than before, and they don't have any skills. So I think that's why I was stepping into what kind of approach would Afesis-corplan, suggest that will help in a sustainable manner, and I mean, lots of young people they will benefit from these houses, others because of their parents, but still there are no skills, there are no jobs. And what kind of agreement does the government have in terms of these construction companies, in terms of ensuring that there is a transfer of skills, in terms of subcontracting and all of that, as you've mentioned, these co-ops that will begin to say we'll produce bricks. I mean, they can set the standards, but really we've had a problem also in terms of these informal settlements, where you'll find that kunabantu 200 people or more, yet they have only these 3 toilets and this 1 table for water. How do we address this? Because it's likely to continue, because I don't understand what kind of standards does BCM set when it comes to ensuring that people have adequate facilities. What can we talk about this?
I think I mean, you're right about the issues, services. There's a few informal settlements that have had the privilege of interacting with the communities and to spend time with them and to see the challenges that they deal with. You find by a community there's four toilets servicing around 200 and something people, and that is not hygienic. That is not hygienic at all, because I mean there's a reason why you toilet. You go there for extra matter, you isn't the same. So if there's this one toilet that is servicing around 50
that
people
each
every
health
day,
as well.
it's affecting their health as well. So really what we should be doing, what our government should be doing, is to firstly to establish the standards. To say, I mean, the core 9 standards that are established for a toilet. I think it's like 1 per 20 people.
Why are they not implementing it if that's the case?
Exactly. That's the question one begins to ask, to say, okay, class does corner from the Department of Water and Sanitation. That's the corner as standards is making way for abantu. Why isn't it implemented? And then the other thing is that, I mean, there's a lot of things that could be done. We call those things low-hanging fruits. Isn't our government could quickly achieve to show intent to people that we're intending to improve their lives. It doesn't hurt to add 10 extra toilets in the informal settlement. It does a huge difference because there's more toilets. Which means the number of abantu besebenzisa toilet one iyehla number one. It doesn't hurt for you to go and say ufaka indlela in the informal settlement because akusitsha iyakwazi ba ingene i-fire brigade yocima umlilo. Xa umuntu ogulayo in this very same settlement iyakwazi ba i-ambulance ikwazi. So if you're in your community, they have to walk for 2 kilometers before they can get close to the road before they can able to even access the ambulance. So zizinto ezinjalo ezibuhlungu ezenzeka community zethu, and this is something that could be achieved quickly, I think, as opposed to the process of building a house for someone, because then ukwakha indlu is not something that happens quickly.
That happens quickly.
There's a lot of steps that are involved, and it just becomes at some instances a bit chaotic and difficult to manage, because it's out not understanding about umabani and his situation yakhe, she's in a much worse position than I am. Whereas if now I'm doing Qhamani if site yam, ndafumana amanzi, ndafumana toilet, bezokwazi ukuthi okay, now I'm content let me build on the little that I have and try to see by situation kamabani different than I am.
All right, Qhamani. Interesting conversation. Unfortunately, we don't have much time, but I want your closing sentiments on yonke lo mcimbi wesidembiso sika president and nokuguqulwa kwabantu kwempilo zabantu eDuncan Village. Khona sisibawa ngumendi uthi ndiyacela man ingathi singezi hayi just your closing sentiments ngesikhoza nje baqalele baphulaphuli. What would you say as we close?
I think awovala bhuti wami ukuthi inhle iplan karhulumente wethu regarding abantu baseDuncan Village. Sicela siyibulela leyo process oboninto.
Yeah.
Kodwa ngathi urhulumente angazama ukwenza more in terms of afake i-basic services kwi-communities zonke kwi-informal settlements. Akwazi anike abantu laa nto to say nansi i-site yakho, nansi anangamanzi, nansi i-toilet, nansi indlela engenayo kwi-settlement yenu. Uzama ukuphucula impilo zoluntu lonke, and not just only for abantu abambalwa, because at the end of the day not wonke umuntu oseDuncan Village unfortunately uzawubenefita from ukwakhiwa kwezi zinto. Abanye abantu abazokwakhela bazinto because abaqualify, they have to be removed basekwezinye indawo. Whereas into ye-basic services ne-site, at least wonke umuntu uyakwazi uba angamle kwiinkonzo zikarhulumente wethu, and then from there akwazi uzenzela into yakhe.
Wow, that was Qhamani from Afesis-corplan. He's the sustainable settlements officer. I-offices zabo zipha eSouthern Road. Baphulaphuli bekumnandi kodwa ixesha lethu lisikile kakhulu. Sobonana next week, same time, same place. Bye bye.